Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm AmandaMuse. I live in Canada, but I lived in Malaysia for 4.5 years, and that place holds a very special place in my heart. And I had my babies there, I became a mom there. I've got lots of videos to share about that, so be sure to click the I to learn more. It also might be here. Sometimes I point in the wrong direction. I'll include some playlists below so that you can learn more about my experience in Malaysia. Is there a reflection off my glasses? There might be. I'll wear my glasses when I'm watching the thing. But today we're going to be reacting to, or I'm going to be reacting to, a viral video right now about Malaysia called How Malaysia Did the Impossible with COVID-19. And it originally played on the channel Other Side of the Truth. I'm going to link everything below and up in the eye. So be sure to check out the original video and give that channel some love. But today, let's react. I haven't watched the video in full yet. I clicked on it last night and then I was like, wait, let's get the true reaction while we're watching it together. And I'm excited to see what they've done because honestly, I have to admit, as a Canadian, I have not seen or heard anything in the news feeds that I pay attention to right now about Malaysia. And for one, I find that a bit shameful on my part that I'm not seeking out that information. But furthermore, it's really interesting, like when you are siloed or living in a bit of a bubble, how you really only are served news about your home country, about immediate places around your home country, and not necessarily international unless you're really seeking that information out. So, gotta do a little bit better, friends. We've gotta do a little bit better. On that note, let's watch the video. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. I may stop and start at some points because we need to experience this together. So let's do it.
Imagine your country is going through a huge political crisis. You have a new leader and several states have new governments. To add to this, not only is your country facing political crisis, but also economical, health, and defense. And then, the worst thing that could ever happen happens. The coronavirus hits Malaysia. Malaysia was in some serious trouble. But don't you ever underestimate the power of Malaysians. Ways that Malaysia did the impossible. Number 15, donations and volunteer organizations. So many people volunteered and so many organizations helped out. For example, Amaret provided healthcare workers with food, AC units, and raised over 3 million ringgit for medical supplies.
Wow, one organization, 3 million ringgit. It's not entirely accurate, like the conversion, but I used to look at it like 3 to 1, so that's about $1 million Canadian dollars. Let's double check that that's true. Hey Alexa, how many Canadian dollars is 3 million Malaysian ringgits?
3 million MYR is 950,693 Canadian dollars and 30 cents.
There we go, close enough. So about 1 million, about 3 to 1. Wow, one organization. That's incredible.
Top doctor, Dr. Noor Hassam Abdullah has been ranked one of the top doctors in the entire world at fighting the coronavirus. And not only does he present accurate facts, he's able to do it in a way that gathers support and also keeps people calm as he does it. Number 13, the Movement Control Order and the Enhanced Movement Control Order. These things are not easy to pull off, and it took so many people in different organizations to work together to have them work. Number 12, indirect volunteers. There are so many people that helped out and volunteered and did so many different things like food delivery. Number 11, building temporary hospitals. Malaysia was able to build temporary hospitals very efficiently and quickly. For example, the largest agro park in Asia was able to be built into a hospital in 3 days. Number 10.
3 days? I'm like, okay, so based on Canadian news, not to dismiss what we've accomplished in Canada, but I mean, we had a hard time setting up testing facilities for coronavirus, and they were able to set up a hospital in 3 days. Well done, Malaysia. Well done.
The Tubelay cluster. The Tubelay cluster complied with any order from MOH, and they never complained even though they had to wait long hours in the heat. Number 9, banks. Banks lent to the borrowers for 6 months. Number 8, universities. Universities allowed students to stay...
Hold on, I missed that part. What was the part about the banks? Banks lend to the borrowers for 6 months. Hold on.
Complained even though they had to wait long hours in the heat. Number 9, banks. Banks lent to the borrowers for 6 months. Number 8.
Pause. Wow. Honestly, that makes me a little bit emotional. 6 months? They've given people 6-month grace periods on their loans at the banks. I mean, therein lies the problem. How can you have people not working, forced to stay home? It's giving me chills, and not help them figure out what to do with their loans. Like, money just doesn't grow on trees. And this is the issue that we're having in Canada, is not everybody has access to the funding. This is incredible. Wow. I didn't know any of this. Okay, moving on to number 8.
Universities. Universities allowed students to stay for free and provided the food as well. Number 7.
What? That's incredible. They allowed the students to stay for free and provided them food.
Nearly 4 million homes received up to 1,600 ringgit. Number 6, ignoring politics. Opposition leaders came together and forgot about politics for the good of Malaysia. Now that is really cool. Number 5, protecting the most vulnerable. Malaysia did it.
I want to pause for a second. That we saw happen as well here in Canada, and this has probably been, just as like an outsider, is such an incredible thing that's happened with the world, at least in Canada and obviously in Malaysia, is seeing these political leaders recognize that there's a bigger issue at hand here, and we need to keep people safe and keep people in their homes with food. And how do we do that? And to see them sort of put that aside momentarily is incredible. And you know, Malaysia, I don't know it fully, and I'm sure some of you watching could leave some comments below about it, but while I was there, it was a very tumultuous time politically, and there was a lot going on, and it isn't appropriate for me to discuss politics of a country I don't live in, but it was, you know, it's amazing to hear how things are changing and progressing for them as a nation, and it's wonderful.
Great job in protecting those that were most vulnerable, homeless and foreign workers. They were put in public halls and provided a tent. Number 4, Malaysians.
Whoa, that's so cool. So those tents, as you see on the screen, they're like those little pop-up tents, and there are so many foreign workers in Malaysia. I mean, there are foreign workers everywhere around the world, but I just, you know, the volume of people is significantly higher than most places that I've lived before, and in smaller, more population dense areas. Is that the right way to phrase it? But that's incredible. Little pop-up tents, keeps people distant. It's like those circles, but not, you know, and gives people some privacy. That's amazing.
Home. Malaysians returning home from overseas were provided a free hotel, free food, and COVID-19 testing during their 2-week quarantine.
Wow. Are you kidding me right now? See, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I had friends who were our teachers, or she's a teacher, and he was able to take time off work, and they have 2 little girls, and they went on this world trip, and they traveled around the globe, and it was incredible, and this adventure was amazing, and I was following along. And then, of course, the last 2 months of their trip, I'm pretty sure, is when coronavirus hit and struck, and they were forced to change their plans. They could barely get home because the airline tickets from Vietnam to Canada were like crazy, like $10,000 and wild prices, right? Couldn't afford to get home. The government kept saying that there were these options and resources for people who, you know, could access money to help them get home. But the more I learned about it, that from her experience was that you really needed to prove that you had like access to zero money in order to benefit from that particular benefit in Canada. There was no consideration for what you would do when you get home from the 2 weeks. You know, they were in a unique situation because they were renting out their home, so they didn't actually have a place to go back to. Fortunately, they had family members who could move out of their house, let them self-quarantine and isolate in their home for 14 days. But then how do you get food? Like, it's a wild experience. So to take that off the table and just really step in for your people is incredible. I mean, it seems so simple, but it's incredible. All right, moving on to number 3.
Respect for frontline workers. I've never seen so much respect and love for frontline workers. It was so beautiful to see all the support Malaysians gave to the frontline workers. Number 2, fixing the PPE shortage for frontline workers. At the beginning of the crisis, there wasn't enough PPE for all the frontline workers, and so Malaysians took it onto themselves. For example, a fashion designer realized she had a skill set that could be very valuable, and so she took the initiative to organize an entire team to make PPE. Prisoners made PPE, college students made PPE, even a Malaysian born with no arms didn't let that stop her from making PPE. And number 1, most important, is teamwork. It didn't matter if you were a celebrity or an average person. It didn't matter your social status. It didn't matter your gender, your religion, your ethnicity. All Malaysians came together for the better of Malaysia. And that's how Malaysia was able to do the impossible, to go from a country that had 3 times more cases than any other country in Southeast Asia to now being one of the safest countries in the entire world. I'd like to thank all the Malaysians that helped make this video possible. So many of you wrote to me, sent me videos and pictures, and specifically Pacific Baku, who's a motorcycle rider, let me take lots of his footage, along with Q Productions, who took beautiful drone shots. And you can find links to their channels in the description. So thank you to all of you who helped make this video possible.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, I had no idea. See, this is how you do it. You recognize that this is a real and serious problem that is impacting your fellow man, and you take action. But it's so troubling to see how, where I live right now in Ontario, in Canada, I live outside of the city of Toronto, but the chaos that took place less than 2 weeks ago with people just flooding parks without wearing masks, not respecting social distancing, I mean, and the numbers continue to increase. And it's like we just can't get a handle on it. And there is something in this chain, this series of events that we're not doing right, and we need to pay attention to what countries like Malaysia are doing. No joke. Thank you for sharing this video with me. This is incredible. What an experience. Very well done too, the video. But it's really interesting to see Malaysia. There's so much that I miss about my time there. I know I was answering a lot of questions on my last video, which was I was reacting to my old life in Malaysia. I'll link that video as well. And it was just really fun to be chatting about all the foods that I enjoyed and the experiences I had and the weather, and just incredible. So thank you for watching this video. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you can catch all of my videos. And I hope you stick around. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.